It is coffee time on a lovely morning of September the 3rd, 2010 in Tugaske, Saskatchewan. Looks like you'd be able to buy a shiny new grain bin in Tugaske this morning looking northwest along Highway 367 towards Bridgeford. Here's Tugaske's original town hall on Ogama Street, although it's not used for that anymore. It housed council chambers, jail cells, firefighting equipment. Tugaske was incorporated as a village on May 7th, 1909 and remains so. I think this is where the big old brick school used to stand until it was destroyed by fire in the mid-90s. The old Bank of Commerce building. The bank set up shop here in 1908 and built this building. Lasted till 1930s when it withdrew and the Masons took over the building. Looking northward up Ogama Street, the standard number 5 station would have been right at the end of the street down there. CPR raised it in 1908 and sold it off in 1973. It's not long. And Tugaske's modern post office. The first one was opened on the town site January 1st, 1908. And a nice little playground with house sparrows chirping it up in the trees there.
They would more than welcome you to walk around and see the different work they did this year.
Here we are down on the highway. This is the old railway property. That might have been the foundation of a cooling tower or a water tower. The first newcomers to arrive in the area were ranchers who settled in the Saskatchewan River Valley to the north from the 1890s. 1904 to 1906, the area really filled up with Ontarians and Brits who either came across country from Craik on the old Capel, Long Lake and Saskatchewan Railway, or up from Mortlack and Cairn on the CPR main line to the south. From Moose Jaw, approximately 53 miles away, the CPR laid steel along what it called its Outlook branch, passed here in 1908. And that year, the first of Tugaske's elevators was raised. There were only 4 remaining elevators come in the mid-1980s when they began to be torn down. The last of them disappeared in the mid-90s. Here's Tugaske's present town hall and also the headquarters of the RM of Huron. Population of Tugaske is only 105 in 2006, down slightly from 2001. The peak population was 328 in 1966 as the Big Gardner and Capel dams were being completed on the South Saskatchewan River, just to the northwest. Tugaske is a town of many artisans right now. Painters, sculptors, and a guitar maker by the name of David Freeman who works out of that house right there. Mennonites fleeing repression in Russia began arriving in mid-20s, boosting the rural population and adding to the skill pool in the Tugaske area. 1970s was pretty tough on Tugaske, with a major flood in 1974, a tornado in 76, ruined several buildings and ripped down lots of trees, and a crippling 5-day blizzard in February of 1978. And north of the tracks, north of the highway, one finds the Bald Islands and a sand green golf course. I'm not sure why I didn't find a third school to be built in Tugaske. In 1910, a purpose-built wood frame building succeeded the Methodist Church as an educational center in the village. This was replaced in 1929 by a brick edifice. This was closed on June 30th, 1970 and converted into a residence. It was declared a heritage property, but unfortunately, as I said, it burned in 1995. As an amusing aside, there is a crater named after the village on the southern hemisphere of Mars. I'm not sure why. Tugaske, Saskatchewan.